Hey everyone, so a bit of a different topic from what we usually cover today, and I think this totally deserves it. Yesterday, Square Enix launched the long-anticipated Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalker expansion, an expansion that has been on the works for many years now, I'm sure, and that people have been waiting for since February of this year. Well, it finally launched yesterday, and let me tell you, it was an insane launch. By the way, this video will be completely spoiler-free. I will likely be showing some in-game cutscenes, but those will not reveal anything regarding the plot, other than the fact that the characters you see there are alive as of this point in the story that I reached, which is just a few hours into Endwalker. The dialogue bubbles will be hidden, and I'm not gonna show anything that would spoil your previous expansion's experience either, if you didn't make it to Endwalker yet, so no worries there either. So without further ado, let's talk about Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalker launch. So first off, you might be wondering why we're covering Final Fantasy XIV on this classic WoW channel. Well, I've actually been playing 14 for the last 3 or 4 months very casually. I've made it to the end of Shadowbringers, the previous expansion, in time before this new expansion launched, and I want to share with you my opinion on this game just so you can make your own decision on whether you should try it or not. And if you're already an active Final Fantasy XIV player, hey, let me tell you about my experience. Alright, so, the launch. Endwalker launched on the clock at 10 AM European time or 3 AM Central US time. And despite that, all the servers across the world reached full capacity and recorded hour-long queues pretty much instantly. The game was so packed with people that some servers crashed from the huge load that this launch created. And the game even recorded records in terms of concurrent players on Steam, 3 times the concurrent players from the previous expansion launch. But more on that in a minute. This launch kinda reminded me of classic WoW's launch a couple years ago. Nobody expected the game to reach those numbers, not even the developers themselves. And Endwalker's launch very much feels similar to that on this regard. In fact, as of the time of writing this video, we're now over 40 hours into the launch and I'm waiting in this 5k players queue. And this is one of the least populated servers in EU. Anyways, so I was one of the first few lucky ones to get on the servers after launch. And my particular server, Phoenix EU, was absolutely packed with players at pretty much every step of the way. It's kinda funny actually, you can tell how long a cutscene will be based on how many players are gathered on a given location. Then, at some point after the first cutscene, my internet dropped and I got put in a 4,000 player queue. I think that's when I realized exactly how crazy this expansion launch was. I think the biggest queue I've seen before that was 100 players a few months ago. I couldn't even imagine seeing a number going in the 4 digits on that window. But thankfully, Final Fantasy allows you to jump servers temporarily, and you can actually do that right on the login screen. Now, I did that pretty much as soon as I saw this queue, but this feature unfortunately is unavailable most of the time apparently. It does work during the early mornings though, when the queues aren't as crazy as they are. So that's something I recommend you do if you want to play Endwalker. Just straight up use this feature as soon as you can, and this will put you on the least populated server. You'll only be able to do it very late at night or very early in the morning though. So yeah, I got back in the game on this less populated server and I got to enjoy the story for the next hours uninterrupted. I did hear though that a few servers around the world had crashed. The one that did crash on EU was Phoenix, the server I play on, and that was obvious when I saw all the people in my FC log off at once, but it did come back up shortly after. There was also not just game servers issues yesterday, but also login server issues, with the infamous error 2002. You could be sitting in a queue for hours only to be kicked at the very last minute. That's actually what happened to a friend of mine. She was waiting on a 6k queue only to be kicked when there was 25 players left on the queue. It does seem like they fixed that to an extent though. When that error happens, it seems like if you log back semi-quickly, you will be put on the same spot on the queue. Now, I know, this may sound like the launch was horrible, and to an extent, I think we would be lying to ourselves if we said that the Endwalker launch was at technical success, because it wasn't. But I think if we get past those inconveniences that, let's face it, will only last for a few days or a week at most, so if we get past those inconveniences, this shows how insanely popular Final Fantasy XIV currently is in the MMO world. Yesterday, players looked at the peak player concurrency on Steam, and that number reached a staggering 86k peak. Now, you need to put this in perspective, because I would say that there's only a minority of players that play this game on Steam. I think most play it directly from the Square Enix launcher. And of course, the game is on console too, so all the PlayStation players aren't counted here either. But what this shows is that Final Fantasy yesterday broke its player concurrence record by 3 times compared to the previous expansion launch, Shadowbringers, on July 2019. That's the launch of Classic WoW right there, by the way. Anyways, those numbers are absolutely crazy, and with that in mind, I think we can definitely forgive Square Enix to an extent for those crazy queues that are happening and all the server crashes. Of course, they can do better, and they definitely should do better. But considering the game is still playable with what these crazy numbers are showing, we can definitely excuse Square Enix to an extent. And if you disagree with that, it's totally fair. This game isn't free, and we should expect a level of quality when it comes to server stability. But outside that, past all the server issues, Endwalker is an incredible experience. From what I tried so far of the story and the one dungeon I played, I think Square Enix outdone themselves here. I'm having a blast with this, and I'm sure a lot of players are too. The dungeons are amazing, and I heard the trials are on another level of fun too, which I'm super excited to try. And from what I did of the story so far, this expansion hasn't disappointed. When I played ARR, Heavensward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers, I had a blast. But there was always that feeling that I should be rushing before Endwalker releases. FOMO is real with this game when a new expansion is about to launch for sure. But thankfully, I made it in time. Well in time, in fact, since they announced a delay just a week after I finished the story. And now I can finally just play Endwalker super casually on my own pace and enjoy every bit of the story to its full extent. The story of Shadowbringers is simply the best narrative story I had seen in any MMO, and the dungeons and trials are among the most fun boss encounters that I have ever experienced. And apparently, Endwalker is gonna be even better on both fronts, so I can't wait to try that out. So conclusion, Endwalker is off to a great start. If we look past the huge queues happening right now, which will definitely settle down throughout the week, this might very much be one of the most successful MMO launches in history. As for the rest of the game, Final Fantasy XIV has hundreds of hours of content to offer through story, dungeons, trials, and much more. The crazy thing about this MMO is that the previous content isn't rendered obsolete by newer expansions releasing, so expansions are actually that. They expand the game and add more content to it to enjoy. If you've never played 14 before, I highly recommend you start today. And if you have, all I can say is that I'm having a pure blast with Endwalker so far. As for you, if you're currently playing Final Fantasy, let us know in the comments what your experience was with this new expansion launch so far. How are the queues treating you? And if you're one of our regular Classic WoW viewers and never played Final Fantasy, are you thinking of giving it a shot? Let us know in the comments. With that, this video was a bit different from what we usually do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give it a like and subscribe to the Classic WoW Curios channel for more content like this. I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Bye for now.